So what's up, folks? Today is July the 22nd, 2024, and my name is Eric. I am a amateur programmer, TradeStation EasyLanguage, looking for an edge in the market. So one of the things I guess this is kind of new, just kind of a little intro here. When you're looking through my videos, be sure to kind of fast forward through the videos. If I'm doing programming live, where I'm kind of going through the ideas and kind of sorting out if I'm going to use a loop or a while or repeat statement, if I'm going to use a case switch, or if I'm using vectors or dictionaries, you're probably going to want to fast forward through some of it to kind of get to toward the end, the meat and potatoes. I don't know. A lot of you guys say that you actually like to see the thought process and to see kind of how I figure out what I'm going to do, and that helps you when you're coming up with your own program. So, like I said, don't be afraid to skip forward. It won't hurt my feelings one bit. But today, we're going to revisit one of the scripts that a gentleman had. He wanted, well, let's read for you what he was actually looking for. So let me see if I can pull it up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we'll open up the new coding environment here, and like I said, one of the things that we see is this is the second version of a script for him, and he said that the initial script that we put together wasn't quite what he was looking for. So yeah, no sweat. We'll make this second rendition. Let's see if we can pull up exactly what he was looking for. Okay, and so this is what we came up with. This is what he says here. All right, so while watching the video, you may have realized I had communicated incorrectly. Rather than looking back 5 bars, the code should count forward from the current bar. As soon as one higher high and one higher low is found, the code then looks for one lower high and one lower low, which that's Dale, I almost wish it was a little bit more complicated than that. So yeah, that shouldn't be complicated at all. And I might swallow my words here pretty soon, but let's see what we can come up with. Okay, so we're going to use this one here. I made a new workspace called Indicator Creator. I did it today, so we'll see if I can keep this workspace and kind of keep it clean. But this is TS General Giant V2. Let's go and let's go ahead and add this. This will show me. I guess. There we go. Show me. There we go. General Giant V2. Okay. All right. So just an easy way you can do here, just plot low, and that'll plot on every bar. But we don't want to plot every bar. We want to say as soon as you have one higher high and one higher low is found, then the code looks for a lower high and a lower low. Okay, so the condition is going to be one higher high and a higher low. Okay, so we'll say that condition 1 is equal to high is greater than the high of a bar ago, and excuse me, the low is greater than the low of a bar ago. All right, so that's going to be condition 1. All right, so if condition 1 is true, we'll just plot. So if condition 1, then plot 1 low, bam, like that. Okay, so this is saying, so all these here are saying that you have a higher low and a higher high and a higher low. All right, hang tight. Okay, I'm back. All right, so let's see. All right, so the next condition is, so after this is met, then we're going to be looking for a lower high and a lower low. All right, so after we get a higher high and a higher low, then we're going to be looking for a lower high and a lower low. All right, so like I said, and that's why I told Dale, I said, really, like when you're trying to come up with scripts, and that's why I think that programming is kind of a one-man sport. It's kind of a loner game, you know, because whatever you want to come up with your script, you know in your head what you want to see, and so you have to parse out every bit and piece of what you want to do. If you're programming something for somebody else, you have all these ideas, but they don't want that. They just want, you know, what they want. But, you know, there's a lot of questions, and even as somebody is asking for something, you know, when you go to the dealership, you say, okay, I want an SUV. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the color. Yeah, I do prefer red. Oh, I forgot about the seats. I do prefer leather seats. What? Gas mileage. Oh, yeah, well, I guess hybrid vehicle, you know, I like the idea of the better gas. So, you know, when you think initially, I just want an SUV, right? But there's a lot of other details, and really, like I said, when it comes to the programming, that kind of thing, a lot of the details is what makes the program. So yeah, I wish we were able to do this do the two-way so we could really find out exactly what it's looking for. But for the time being, this is what he asked for, and so this is what it is. All right, so so the next condition is going to be con 2. It's going to be equal to a lower, so a lower high, so a high less than the high bar ago, and low less than the low bar ago. All right, so if condition 1, then begin. So if condition 1 is true, and this is the thing, right? So maybe you picked it up from the prior video, but true false statements, depending on how you write them, leaves a variable always, or it can leave a variable as true, and if it's not changed, then it'll stay as true, it'll stay as true, it'll stay as true on every subsequent bar. But if you set it equal to true if only certain conditions are met, then it'll switch true this bar, false this bar, true this bar, false this bar. But again, if you set it to true when a condition is met, and it doesn't have an else component, or it's not like an if and only if, then once it turns on, it'll stay on. So, and by this, I mean this, right? So this is saying condition 1 is going to be true if the high is greater than the high of a bar ago and the low is greater than the low bar ago. All right, so that's why when we plotted this, we only get these certain ones to fire. But now if you say, we're going to get this one out of here, and then we're going to say, if you say, if this is found, you say, if that's found, then condition 1 is equal to true. The problem with this is once this is found, it's going to set condition 1 equal to true, but it never turns it off. You need to have something to say, oh, but if it's not found, condition 1 is equal to false. Or if some other condition happens, then condition 1 is equal to false. So once I hit verify now it's going to light up every single bar because condition 1 never turns off. What do we get then? Oh, I was getting ahead of myself here. So let's just get rid of this for now. I just like the instruction part of this programming stuff too. I like explaining because I think that's what people need. Okay, so we don't want it to be this way, or we do want it to turn on and stay on, and now we're looking for condition 2. And once we find condition 2, then we're going to plot, and then once we find condition 2, then we'll turn condition 1 back off. Okay, so condition 2 is going to be that that you have a lower high and a lower low. Okay, so you'll say if condition 2, so you'll say if condition 1, because 1 should be on, right? If condition 1 and condition 2, then what? Then begin. Then you can plot. Plot 2, low, blue. And then, like I said, you also want to turn condition 1 off. Condition 1 equal to false. And we'll turn this plot off. And you get this, right? So this is showing that you had a, and I see this from time to time. So here all of a sudden you got a higher high, or you got a higher high. So you got an outside bar, right? So you got a higher high, lower low. All right, so where is our higher high and higher low at? It looks like it's here. It looks like it's this bar. Higher high, higher low. This condition 1 starts now looking for a lower high and a lower low. Is it here? No, it's equal high. Is it here? Lower high, but higher low. Is it here? Higher high, lower low. Is it here? Equal highs, but lower low. Now, so it's this one. Lower high, lower low. Okay, we can turn that back on to say if condition 1, then plot. But so again, condition 1 is going to stay on until you turn it off. So, and here we got our next higher high, higher low. So what I would do is I would say, hey, I want to find this first higher high, higher low. I want to find that first one. So how do we do that? I know an easy way to do it. I'm trying to think of another way. Because we can use a count function. We can always use a count function, but I'm trying to think if there's a better way. Let's see. I think we have to use a count. We have to have some way to identify that this is the first iteration. All right, so let's use a count. And if you guys have another way that you use, let me know. All right, so we'll put first bar, and this will be a count. And so we'll say, so on every bar, we need to be adding a new 1. So for every single bar, we're going to be counting. We're going to be adding to first bar. Okay, so if we do have the higher high and a higher low, then condition 1 is equal to true. So we're going to do a couple things now. So since we're doing a couple things, we need to use the beginning and the end. So we're going to have condition 1 is equal to true. We're also going to have first bar is equal to 0. Okay, and so then we'll come down here and we'll say, Well, I don't want to put if higher highs. So what we can say is, oh, there's an easy way to do it. All right, so pretty much if we're finding, so here we turn condition 1 off, and then if we get a new condition 1 being on, then we'll say, all right, well, if condition 1 of a bar go is false and condition 1 of this bar is true, then we'll plot a this other plot. So if condition 1 of a bar go is equal to false and condition 1 of this bar is equal to true, then we're going to plot the low. This one out of here. Bam. Okay. All right. So again, this will be your first entry. This will be your higher high and higher low. This will be your lower high, lower low. This will be your higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then this will be your lower high, lower low. Okay. So if you're interested in what we got here, then that's all you need. Okay. But me, I'm going to take it a step further because that's what I do. All right. So we're going to add some text labels here using EL system, drawing, using EL system.drawing objects. All right, and then we're going to once on the statement, once on the program, we're going to begin, and we're going to say higher high, higher low equals higher high, higher low. This is going to be this is an object text label null, and then we're going to have text label lower high, lower low null. Okay, so that's going to be text label. Actually, we'll just make it each time. Okay, so each time we have one of these higher highs or higher lows, we're going to print it. Let me see if I can make it a little bit more complicated. Method void draw label begin end. Okay, and then we're going to have a text string, and it's going to be string. Okay, so if higher high and higher low, then this. If this, then we're going to say draw label with the input of that first one was higher high, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher low. Right? Right. Okay. Okay. And this one will be a plot of what? This will be a plot of we're also going to draw the label, and to the input we're going to put lower high, lower low. But it's got to be a text, lower high, lower low. Okay, so this is going to have an input. It's going to be a string input, str. You know what? I don't know if you have to write it out or if you can just do. Let's do string. String, and then we'll put name. No, that's a reserved word. We'll put label name. Okay, so we need to create the text label. So the text label would be. So actually, we only need one. Equals text label dot create. Where are we going to create it at? Initiates a new. So we're going to do a bar number point, bn point dot create. at bar number plus max bars back minus 1. That's going to be the bar number, and now we need the location. We'll put it at the low, and then we will do what do we want it to say? We want it to say whatever we put in this string right here. So we want it to say label name, which is a string. That, and then we'll do drawing objects dot add hh. That should be L hhhl. Really, I'm going to rename that. Okay, and I think that's it. Bam! Look at that. So here we got a lower high, lower low. Here we got higher high, higher low. Let's make that all caps. Higher high, higher low. And like I said, you can name it whatever you want to name it. Something that doesn't take as many letters and characters and such. All right, so we'll just name this. Can we just do label? Let's do label. And we can get rid of this one. We didn't even need this one because of the way I decided to do it with the method. Label. This will be called label. Okay. All right, now you see how this is a little bit off-centered? We need to center this. It's already referencing this bar, but it's just not centered. Let's see if we can center that. So it's the label parameter, which would be label dot horizontal style. I think the enumerations are center, left, right. So it's 0, 1, 2. So I think it's 0. When I typed that, it didn't do anything. Now, well, maybe that's left. Let's try 1. That's right. And let's try 2. That's center. Okay. There you go. All right. So now the other thing is we'll say, all right, well, if it's a higher high, higher low, we want it to stay blue. But if it's a lower high, lower low, then we want it to be red. So let's see if we can do that. So if label name equals, now I'm gonna try one other thing just because it's something that I've been working on K-switch here recently, so I'm gonna try that. But if label name equals higher high, higher high, higher low, then label dot color equals color dot set higher high, higher low. We'll make it black. And then we'll say if label name equals lower high, lower low, then label dot color equals color dot red. Boom. All right, you see there, now we got red for the lower high, lower lows, and we got black for the higher high, higher low. All right, you can do anything you want to do with this. You can make it bold if it's the higher one. You can make it bold, or if the volume is greater than the 9-period moving average of the volume, or the 6-period moving average of the volume, you can make it black. You can make you can put a border around it if it's doing such and such thing. So let's say you'd have to draw a rectangle at that point though. And I don't think there are just regular borders. I think that's just a label. I don't know. Let's see if there's anything else with the text label that I don't know about, that I'm not, wildly aware of. Create, point style, text string, v style, font. Yeah. Okay, so nothing else fancy there. All right. So let's try it with a K-switch, because like I said, this is what I've been working on K-switch here this last weekend. trying to wrap my head around it. So we'll say, so it's going to be switch. What are you going to switch? You're going to switch label name. Yeah, switch label name. That's going to be the variable. And then for a case of higher high, higher high, higher low, labeled. So for the higher high, higher low, label dot color equals color dot black. Okay. In the case of lower high, lower high, lower low, label dot color equals color dot red. Semicolon. I think you do need a begin statement here. Begin and an end. Push that up, and I think you need a default case. I don't know if you have to say default or not, but I mean, I don't know if you have to say case before you say default, but we'll say default. Default label dot color, or really you could say, you could do anything. Value 1 equals 0. It doesn't even have to be related to what you're doing. All right, so let's verify that. Okay, so there was an issue there. Default. Oh, I think you need semicolon. All right, very good. So get rid of that if statement there. Okay, good. Worked well. All right. So just to verify that this actually is indeed working, let's change one of these. Let's change this to blue. Yeah, it did change the color. And we'll change this from the green. Okay. All right, hang on 2 seconds. All right. All right, so yeah, so that's pretty much how you do all this. And then, like I said, I won't make it any more complicated than it has to be, because I'm having a little bit of fun with this, but at the same time, I want to make sure that Dale can actually do something with it. So we'll leave it here, and if you have any questions, concerns, comments, be sure to leave them in the chat or in the comment section. As always, I do like to do this kind of stuff, you know, by request, and I like to challenge myself with programming. So if you got some ideas or something that you want me to go over, be sure to ask them of me. Other than that, I'm going to hop off here. I don't know exactly what Dale's looking for, but I don't know. There's a lower low there. Lower high, lower low. Higher high, higher low. It's nice high, higher high, higher low right there. Such as here. Such as here. These higher highs, higher lows seem to be pushing up the, except for this one, and maybe this one. But overall, they seem to be at a pretty decent location for some scalps. But yeah, Dale, if you got something interesting, if you got something good with it, man, let me know. Let's put our heads together and let's figure out how we can make some of this money. All right, guys, I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.